take us through your thinking process of saying, finally, 31 July, we need to have a protest around anti-corruption. What are the things that got you so upset and so agitated that you ought to call the nation to take a stand on corruption?
You know what, Trevor? We know the effects of corruption in this country, and corruption has been talked about. It has become systemic, it is endemic, and we all know that, and we've talked about it. Then there are outstanding issues and matters that have been talked about, but we have not addressed as a nation. For instance, I would tell you 5 months after the late President Mugabe, you know, took off the lead to the 15 billion which was squandered from diamonds. You know, it was, to me, it was the wow moment to say $15 billion. And put in context, 15 billion. You know, when I traveled to Dubai, one of the things that fascinated me a lot was their tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. And then I was told, I was asking, you know, the tour to say, how much was used to build this kind of a building? And they told me $1 billion. $1 billion US, that is. And then to think of $15 billion, 15 Burj Khalifas being squandered and unaccounted for. It's amazing. It's absolutely, and then nothing is, nothing is said, nothing is followed through and so on. And then recently, you know, we've been talking about the 3 billion from Command Agriculture, and also you look at the drug scandal, you know, the 60 million. And then you look at what is happening to our hospitals, to our education system, to our infrastructure and so on. And then you see that we haven't done something as a nation to put enough attention to these issues. One, to the government. Secondly, to even the region. And thirdly, to the international community. So I really was persuaded and convicted that together with others who have been talking about it, my compatriots, including Hopol Chingono, you know, Job Sikala and others, you know, I then called for the nation to action to say, let's set a date. And if you realize, actually announced the date nearly a month and a half before the 31st, so that we give the nation a chance to reflect and also to do due process, like notifying the police, which is required of us by law, to notify the police, and our intention.
And you did all that?
We did all that.
Okay.
My letter, I notified the police, they sent back their response, and everything was
What was their response?
They said to me, whilst it's your right to do the demonstration, it is okay, but our worry at this stage concerns the COVID pandemic and issues like that. So we would want you to reflect on how you would deal with matters like that. So they did not categorically say you can't hold it. You know, this is the message they gave back to me.
So as far as you're concerned, the cost was clear?
It was. It was clear because we had notified the police as required by the law. And, you know, as far as COVID is concerned, for instance, Trevor, you know, I said over and over that we will be wearing masks on the day. We will make sure that we avail hand sanitizers in case some don't have. So we're actually asking citizens to bring extra hand sanitizers so that everybody would have them. And then we're also encouraging even social distancing as we were marching, you know, because we felt very strong that, you know, corruption was a pandemic as good as COVID. Corruption was reducing our capacity to deal with COVID, and we couldn't wait. It was important for us to do something, and that is the determination we had, and that's why we went ahead and up until, of course, I was arrested.